Hello, welcome to the author chat. Thank you for joining us on whatever platform we're on. Today I have with me Amanda Denham, who is the author of Sin Eater. Very excited to dive into this episode today, where there's going to be a bit of a focus on art and artwork and mental health awareness and stuff like that. So dig in. To start, Amanda, author of Sin Eater, published in March of 2024. Your book is very well reviewed with readers, saying that they had a hard time putting the book down. Many found the characters relatable, and most of all, people who reviewed the book found it conceptually interesting and well executed. So, congratulations on that. You're doing very
You?
well. Tell me about Sin Eater, your first book that you've got out there, and what's it about and what inspired you to write it.
Ooh, I'm always going to probably describe Sin Eater as the most personal book I'll write and the most me, um, because the settings are based on my hometown, places I've been, um, and hopefully it does read pretty well because I have friends who've read it and they're like, "Oh, oh, I knew where you were talking about," and everything. So that was kind of fun for them. Um, Sin Eater is about a girl named Jade who discovers she can erase memories. Um, Sadly, she accidentally does that to her best friend. So her friend has amnesia, goes into a coma for a while. Um, Jade, when she discovers it's her fault, she decides she needs to start over. She needs to get away from people. She doesn't want to hurt anybody else. But instead, she's found by somebody and blackmailed into starting a business with those powers. The book opens on Jade being the Sin Eater, someone who is being paid to erase any bad memories anybody would like. So if you see this little internet advertisement about somebody that can take away something out of your noggin that maybe is plaguing you, you can pay them to come to your house, discreetly take it away, and you can live your life. And the book progresses kind of like a past tense and present tense, where you kind of see where Jade came from and why she's doing what she's doing, but then also what she's going to do. Because after a point, she starts feeling lonely, isolated, very, very, very tortured by the work she's doing because they don't remember those memories, but now she does. She kind of takes them on herself. And Neater, I think, is also very personal since was kind of caught up because I too went through something that I thought, and if I could just get these memories out of here, I could go on with my life happier, healthier, more mentally stable. And it just kind of progressed from there about like, well, what if somebody could do that? Why would they do that? Where would it come from? Would people actually want their memories erased and for what reasons? And wrote that first chapter at, in a drawer for many, many months, maybe a year. I don't even know how long. So it's lucky that I picked it back up and it's finished.
Yay! And we're all glad that it is. Obviously, like your reviews are very like high up there and everyone seems to really there was a few talking about how conceptually interesting it is. And so to me that would be huge. I would love to be conceptually interesting as a writer.
Especially like I tell people all the time, you have to fight the urge to think that your work is boring because you're reading it over and over and over. So even like your twists or things you used to find interesting, now you're like, "Oh, this is so stupid." And so you have to fight that because there's those other people who haven't ever seen it before, haven't ever read it before. So of course they're gonna fresh eyes. They'll think it's interesting. That is such a battle.
Yeah. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna have a bit of a focus on art this episode. Let's talk about your art. Can you tell me about your artwork, and the impact it has on your writing and books?
First of all, it's just awful. I'm just kidding. No, for real. I actually loved to draw before I ever loved to write. I remember in kindergarten, I was wanting to get assignments and stuff done as quickly as I could so I could flip that paper over and just start doodling on the back of it. Um, Art has been a bit of an art therapy for me for a very long time. every time I was going through something really hard in my life, weirdly enough, it made it to where I couldn't draw, but then almost like I needed to because I needed to get things out that I couldn't say or I couldn't express. And Sin Eater especially has made a ton of art from my brain before she was ever conceptualized as a book character that I was going to write about. This character, this person that I started drawing, every time I felt stressed out or every time something was going on, I drew her. And there was a lot of mixed media. There was a lot of torn paper. There was a lot of words kind of incorporated. I even started doing like gluing newspaper on the back, in the background, um, like art that I feel like was kind of out of the blue for me. That just was not the usual that I would do. I was very much into like girly manga and things like that. So it was more fluffy and feathers and dresses and things. So like this was a grittier side of me just getting things out and kind of screaming things that I couldn't say. And when I decided that I wanted to write this book, I looked down at these drawings and thought she's got to be the main character. She's it's like it's been talking to me for years and years, and she needs to be this needs to be my main character. Um, but I feel like art saved me. I feel like there's just so many times that if I didn't have that, I'd have gone crazy.
Yeah, that's really cool. I am a very creative person, and drawing has always eluded me. I even did that challenge of like try drawing for 100 days. I think I did the
Oh
400
man,
days and I ended it and
you
it was
did?
okay. I don't remember if I did all of
Wow,
it. I don't
it's a
remember. I
commitment
just
though.
yeah, I did it for a while and like I want to draw like manga characters and I just can't
Oh yeah.
get my brain to do that. And so some of them turned out okay.
What do you
But
think your best one was? Like what do you like? Just one that you're like, I'll put this on the fridge, you know?
um I think well it's all for bookish characters and there
Okay.
was one that I did a not safe for work drawing for book 3 of my Shifters series. The
Ooh.
characters are Drobo and Kayla. He's like a dryad, so he can control like trees and
Oh yeah.
vines and stuff. And so it's like a scene with a lot of vines. And I don't know. I just,
Love it.
yeah, I'm proud of that one. Um, but that's, yeah, it's just something I wish I could do. And thankfully, I found artists I really like and connect with. And they seem to like we connect like on a vision level. Like
Yeah.
I can express
Your
my vision
vision.
and they can understand like what I'm saying, I guess, as that's not always been true. And so yeah, I actually have 3 I work with on a pretty consistent basis, and I
Nice.
wish I could draw because it's like I do wanna do a superhero book and, like, have a lot of art inside of it, but it's like I
Nice.
don't have 3 grand. So,
No,
it's just like,
I'm
I
telling you.
don't know if that's gonna happen. Um,
Stay here for a little bit.
yeah, so I'm like, I might practice some more so I can see that vision come to life,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I hats off to you because that's something I've never been able to master, and so that's really cool.
Um, I'm a big believer too in I've never been to school for art. I never went to college for it. I'm very plagued with looking at these other people and thinking they're better, they're more professional, they can sell their art, da da. Da. And I've had to kind of just talk myself out of that kind of stuff and just realize what I'm making, nobody else is going to make. And that's what makes it good or unique. And there are going to be people out there who might connect with it or who might like it. So I hopefully I can, right here encourage you that as long as you enjoy it and it's your vision that you like to imagine like this is what this looks like to me. I hope you know like there's definitely people out there who probably would be like, "Oh, I wish I could do that." Like so 'cause those thoughts kill me sometimes. I really have to I think if I thought that way and really let it get to me, I wouldn't draw anymore. And I'm 36 now, and I know a lot of people who used to draw that don't anymore because just yay adulthood. So I'm
Yeah.
wanting to keep it, I'm like, "No, no, don't nope, you can't get away from me, childhood, I love you, no,
Yes.
stay with me." So, definitely do it and if you enjoy it and you like it, for sure.
Yeah. It can be a pleasant activity. It's just like time consuming. So that's the
Oh,
other
yeah,
thing. It's like,
yeah,
okay, I can write today or I can draw, but I can't do both. And I'm
yeah,
usually always going to choose writing because, like, for me, that's what I've done since childhood is stories
there you
and
go.
writing. And
Yep,
that's the thing that has always been with me and that I've been able to. It wasn't about expression, it was about escape. Like, I disassociated a lot as a kid, and like that came as in handy as a skill because, like, I was creating these stories in my mind and it never stopped. So, yeah, I'm always gonna choose writing. Um,
yeah.
that's okay because we each have strengths.
Yeah, you
Um,
got your thing.
yeah. And okay, what inspires you to write outside of your artwork?
Um, Definitely other books, other artwork, music. Um, Eater was actually inspired by a song lyric that I heard one day. I don't know if you're familiar with the band Yellowcard. They're one of my favorites, and, when I was having my depressing thoughts about wanting to just forget things, a song lyric of theirs came on from a, song of theirs called "Paper Walls," and it talked about writing down what hurts and then burning it to the ground. And that's what kind of triggered the, "Huh, what if you could do that? What if you could write that down and just burn it and it was actually gone?" Because I know there's metaphorical, but it's like, what if it really happened? Um, but yeah, songs, other art, other books, kinda like art begets art, you know? Um, I mean, I've gotten so many other ideas from reading other books or from listening to song lyrics, and it's weird, like, I think my step-by-step process is reading something or listening to something, and then that triggers an image in my head, and then that image can kinda lead me to story. So that's why I would just always encourage people to do the art you wanna do no matter what, because you never know who you're inspiring or who you're setting up to make their own stuff.
Yeah. Like you said, it can lead to something unexpected too. And so
Sure.
it's just follow the path, follow the journey. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. I know a lot of writers I've talked to mentioned Hosier, like his newest release. They were like,
Yeah.
I had one author posted about how she just took a week off work because she knew she was gonna be inspired to write after he released his newest music because he's very, very romantic. And so I'm like, oh, I get that. And so, like,
That's
I have
gracious.
a yeah, I have a few songs where I don't know that they inspire my writing, but I'll hear it and I'm like, "Oh, that's this character," or "That's this
Yeah.
character." Um,
Connection.
yeah, but,
Yeah.
we've mentioned mental health awareness and it being important to you, and I'm wondering in what ways has mental health or mental health awareness impacted you as a writer, and did that passion make its way into your book?
Definitely impacted me a lot. I think, of course, it impacts everybody, but specifically creatively, I didn't set out at first to put anything mental health related into the book, but as I started writing and as I started reading more and really focusing on things like that in books, it it made me, 'cause I don't want to bash books or any, I don't want to bash other works, but there are some things I read that I think maybe don't show those kinds of things very realistically, or it's all kind of glamorizing terrible decisions or hurting other people, just any cases like that. And so, as I was writing Sin Eater and any other books that I'm going to write in the future, I kind of want to put more of a realistic spin on it. I want to show real conversations, maybe even things that I've experienced myself that have either helped or not helped. um, because I see so much media out there that is very unhealthy or could be impactful, but not in a great way. And so I'm hoping that the things that I write going forward, they don't have to be preachy. They don't have to tell you what to do or how to handle things. But I would love for people to maybe pick it up and feel inspired. Or I know I've had some readers say, like, this was me on the page, or like these paragraphs spoke to me. So even if it's not directly speaking to somebody, maybe it can trigger something in their heads. Because I've, struggled with mental health growing up. I mean, when I was 15, I was taking antidepressants and they're, fun hormone things. We talked a little bit before the chat and we were talking about, kids and raising kids and all the hormones. And so I think that was my issue at first was just a lot of stuff going on in my home life and then just growing up and crazy hormones. And so, yeah, I was on antidepressants and didn't know how to handle that, couldn't talk to a counselor, just didn't know how to navigate it. And then, you grow up not really knowing that maybe therapy's a good option, or maybe you should deal with these emotions instead of just shoving them down and, and ignoring them and um, on anxiety medication. And I hope that my books can show people that there's more ways to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Um, 'Cause it's rough out there for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, I was scrolling your Instagram before the interview, and you had a post about like encouraging people there's never a bad time to go to therapy, even if it's like you went and you stopped going, you can always just go back. And I thought it was really encouraging and very, a
Sure.
very nice post to make, encouraging people to take care of their mental health. And yeah, so it is nice, like, to have that perspective. Like you said, you're not trying to be preachy, but you are trying
Yeah,
to like portray it on the page and encourage people. Um,
for sure.
yeah, and I was just thinking, it's like, do I? I have like one character. I don't even know. Like, I think it's interwoven. Like, mine is more like I try to be very realistic about how trauma would impact a
Yes.
character's actions and reactions. And I think my main focus is usually actually on relationships. Like, I write
Oh, yeah.
romance. And so I think a common trope in the real world is for girlfriends to be a free therapist for their boyfriends. And so, for the most part, if I have a male main character who's a love interest who has mental health issues or issues in general, like I don't allow the female main character to help him through it. Like usually he has some aha moment on his own and his own soul searching journey because it's like I'm not doing that. She's not
Yeah.
his therapist. He can grow a pair, face his own fears, his own demons. I just like I find emotional intelligence very sexy. So it's just like I'm
Very.
gonna
It's
put
so
that,
great.
yes, in my books. And I had one, my most recent release, the character, I did a little spin on the rejected mate trope where the main male
Ah,
character, like they've, I don't know how, like luminesced, basically they glowed for each other, which in the series is a signal that they are biologically mates meant to be together, fated mates. And they did
yeah.
that, but he still rejected the mate bond essentially. And I feel like in other books or TV shows, the character would respond by saying, like, begging him to accept the
Yeah,
mate bond. And instead,
for
I
sure.
had this character who's a shy librarian, but I mean, they're out in the wilderness, they are on an alien planet, so she's not a librarian anymore, but like just that shy librarian trope. And he tells her that they're never going to be together. And she's like, okay. She's like, I'm worth being
Okay.
someone's number one. She
Yeah.
tells him, she's like, you're going to regret this. And I don't care. And then, like, later on, that because she stands on business, he turns around and he has to grovel. And we love a good grovel. So, but it's like, yeah, she's not begging for his time or attention. Like, even if they're fated mates, like, she's not begging for anyone's love, and nor should she. And
Nope.
he has his own aha moment on his own, realizing how to come through the issues he's going through. And then when they come back together, he grovels and he yearns and he longs, and it's all yummy. And it's just like, so that's like my perspective. I do a little less. on mental health, in my opinion, and more on relationship advice without
Yeah,
being preachy. It's just like showing you on the page, like, hey, she said no and it worked out.
yeah.
um,
Also
so
breaking tropes too, which is nice,
yeah,
you know? Everybody there's a lot of, things you could go into and you kinda know what's gonna happen midway, but I love that because then maybe somebody gets to that rejection and then gets to that part, and they're like, "Oh, oh, oh, this is different, like, wait, I'm
yes,
interested."
yes. I try
I
to
love
do
it.
things a little differently, like have my own little spin on stuff.
Yeah,
Because I mean, every writer is an individual and we have our own unique life experiences. And so I think that's why you can have so many books in the same genre because they're all a little different. Like we could all
that is
be
very
writing the
true.
same trope and it's going to be different for each of us. And
Totally different.
so it's nice.
Well, yeah, I mean, goodness, I mean, I can't even imagine how many books actually exist. I try not to think about it.
I think it's
There's just
great.
so many. There's so many.
Yes. Um, anyway, so what plans do you have for the future? And are you writing another book?
Ooh, I am writing Sin Eater sequel. That will hopefully come sooner rather than later. I'm really bad. Like I'm such a slow writer. I'm such a slow artist. I just so slow. But I actually do have my next book out for pre-order right now. I
Okay.
was gonna say like out, but I'm like it's kind of like half out.
Yeah.
The ebooks are out for pre-order, and then it'll be releasing on August 29th. So pretty soon,
Yay.
17 days.
Yes.
Um, this one's not related to Sin Eater at all. I feel bad that like a lot of people are like, "Oh, should I reread Sin Eater to get ready?" And I'm like, "Oh no, don't worry about it. No, this is a standalone. But if you want to reread it, I mean, if you want to, have fun." So that's definitely in the future too. I'm super excited because I was just one of those people that didn't think I would get a one book finished and published. So having two, it's like mind
Yes.
blowing.
That's a good feeling. And even if you're a slow writer, like if you wrote 5 words today, that's 5 more words you had than
Exactly.
yesterday. And like
Exactly.
you said, you're 35, 30, 36. I think
Let's
I'm
turn 36.
37.
So
So I'm about your age. I've
we
gotten
keep
to the
track
point
of
where
it.
I forget. And it's like, I ask my husband, like, how old are you? Because he's a year older than me. And so I'm pretty confident I'm 37. But yeah, we're so young in a sense. Like when we're in our 60s, like even at what you consider your slow pace, you will still be a prolific author if
Yeah.
you keep going. So,
And I'm always just like satisfied too. Like I'm like if I write, two or three and then I stop for a few years because of whatever and do some like concentrate on art or concentrate on other things, it's always something you can return to. It's always something you can get back to. There's no, well, that's it. At 40, you're done. So
yeah,
there's always it's always there for you.
yeah,
That's kind of a cool thing about creativity too, right? Just always there. You don't have to put it down forever.
very nice. I will do a little plug for myself. I just released
Yours.
Raz's Redemption, which is book 6 in the Shifters of Aloe Prime
Ooh,
series.
sick.
Woohoo! Unfortunately, for
Nice.
anyone listening, it is not a standalone book. I've never successfully written a standalone book in my life. I have high hopes that I will one day, but it just hasn't happened. I am obsessed with intertwining plot lines, especially the underlying plot. And so if you're interested in what I described earlier, you have to read books 1 through 5
Do it.
first.
Do it. Do it.
Yes, and I'm currently writing Burning Dawn, which is the final and third book of my fantasy series,
Oh my
the romantic fantasy series, and very excited about that. I looked at the word count today and I forgot what it's at, but I'd say it's in the first quarter still. Um,
Ooh, okay.
so I'm hoping that'll be done by late fall and released in maybe early winter. I usually end up
So that's
releasing
not
things
that far
sooner than I
along.
thought. Yeah. And so we'll
Too far.
see. And then after that I hope to get back into the Shifters of Aloe Prime series. 'Cause in total that will be 12 books and I just did book
Ooh,
number 6. Yeah, it's my
oh my
longest
goodness.
series by far, and I don't know I'll do it again. So yeah,
One
but
and
it's
done, but one and done is 12 books. I mean, come on. Like that's amazing.
yeah. Thank you. And so yeah, that's my plug. And
Ew,
then
yeah, that's worth plugging. I'm super excited for you. That's so cool. that kind of mindset, like having the long series, I haven't quite been able to wrap my mind around it. So that's just I'm always amazed. So
Oh,
I love it.
I will say for me, it was easy in the sense I started thinking and planning about this Shifter series when I was writing my first series, which is a completed series, a lunar series, and I have a spreadsheet with a billion tabs. And I was able for a year, like a year, maybe even longer, to just sit and plan out the books and what characters do I
Yeah.
want and how do they fit into this underlying plot. And so I would say break it down into chunks, into pieces, like open
Yeah.
that spreadsheet, give yourself a year to just keep filling it in. And if you're excited about it, go for it. And if not, don't. But you just use those
Love that.
concepts for other books. But and to be honest, there's one or two books in the series where I couldn't tell you what's gonna happen. Like I think book 10, where I'm just like, I don't have a clue. And I feel
Just
bad for
there.
that couple, but it's just like I have some vague ideas for like their relationship dynamics. But as far as like the plot, I'm like, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. And it's just
And
like,
then
but
you
all the
still
other
got
ones,
4 books in between or 3 books in between, so I bet things will
oh yeah,
start
yeah.
turning the closer you get to it.
Yes, hopefully.
Very cool.
And so yeah, I would say just take it a little at a time. If that's like a goal to have a longer series, just take one,
So
3, 5 years to fill in your spreadsheet when the tabs and go
I
from
like
there.
spreadsheets, so I'm with you on that. Like I do Excel spreadsheets at work all the time, so that
Hmm.
like appealed to me. You said that, and I was like, ooh. I was
Yes.
like, I can use a spreadsheet.
I like those. And then when Google Docs came out with the tabs on the side,
Yes.
oh, I went crazy. Like, it is a lifesaver. I don't have to go to different documents anymore. It's just like all in the
All right
tabs.
there.
And so, especially like fantasy series, like fantasy names are weird, even for me. Like, I'll pick out the name myself. And I'm like, how was that spelled? And so I have a tab labeled spelling. So I
Nice.
can just like copy and paste it. I'm like, okay, that's the correct spelling. I'm going to go with that. But yeah, so
Don't forget in 5 minutes, go back.
yes. Um, yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining
Yay.
us. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank
I
you.
wish you the best. And that's Author Chat, episode 3.
Bye.